there. I just noticed that.
Yeah, we don't play it as much as we should.
I got a dartboard in my garage.
It's very decrepit.
Yeah. You got the man cave going on out in your garage?
Not the man cave, but more it's our garage, so we got cars in there. But whenever I have some friends over, back out the cars, and yeah, you can play
Hit some darts.
Play some darts. Got my wood workshop going on out there too.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Are we? We're rolling, right, Aaron?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Spark and Plug talks something. Season 3, blah blah blah. Y'all all know the intro. As Ryan's pointed out, we're like almost 30 episodes deep, so you should know it by now. And fantastic guest today, Mr. Ryan Lawson.
You can clap for yourself, so it doesn't sound so.
Yeah.
So empty. Thanks for coming out, man. I really appreciate it.
Where do I look? Do I just look straight?
Probably whoever's talking.
Eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, you need the lazy eye one drifting off. Yeah. Hopefully that's a skill you possess.
Yeah.
But
that's an interesting question. No one's ever asked.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if anybody else has been like, God damn, this is really weird.
Well, for the listener at home, I'm staring at what looks like a prison wall, and then.
But mentally, it's kind of prisony. Yeah,
I'm just joking.
I concur.
It puts you in that kind of mind
set. Of
reflecting
what
on your
am I
life
doing?
choices and stuff. So maybe this will be a really interesting podcast with the prison wall.
Yeah, hell yeah. But Ryan just got done playing a few songs for us, and I think I said it, but thank you for coming out. Thanks for driving out, man.
Absolutely.
It just got done playing a few songs for us. If you haven't watched the video, definitely watch the video because they were awesome. Like I brought it up to him as he was playing it. Awesome, awesome imagery and descriptions and everything. Really like for some reason, mangled ladder on the side of the highway sticks with me. We've all seen the mangled ladder.
It just tells a sad story because it's like somebody hit it, so that's sad. But
at one point, it was useful.
Somebody lost a ladder. Like,
no, I get,
ladders are expensive.
I get that part. You see like a fiberglass one that's like shattered across the
oddly specific to like the male like guy who does the weekend projects and it's just like
in the rearview mirror.
No, my ladder, like it fell out.
Yeah. Losing a ladder is a big deal, I think.
Man, when'd you ladder escapades aside? When'd you start your musical journey? Did it start with mangled ladders?
No. Unfortunately not, but
tragic
or fortunately
backstory.
So, yeah.
Or perhaps not so tragic.
Yeah. No, equally as tragic of a backstory though is I think, singing I really started with the embarrass yourself in grade school situation to where I asked to sing in front of the class often, and I would I'd bring a tape and say, hey, I want to sing along to this in front of the class, and the music teacher would let me do it.
And it was MC Hammer? It was, can't touch this.
No, I do remember bringing, it wasn't quite that cool.
No,
it
was the blue song, the Blue Eiffel or whatever, Eiffel 65. I fucking loved that song when I was a kid.
No, it was a cassette tape of The Simpsons Sings the Blues.
What? What is this? How has this not graced my ear holes yet?
How did that one up ours?
I didn't think you could dunk on either of those, but you did.
It really was that, and and I wanted, and there was a song on there, Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll, and I started off, Hail, Hail, and then she stopped me. Miss Taylor, that was her name. She wouldn't even let me finish
she didn't let you see after Hail, Hail?
Yeah, but then I did.
I think you were going to do like a Nazi thing or something? What was
I don't know
what
she thought. Maybe she wasn't into rock and roll,
How did it go? She was like, whoa.
Yeah, no,
Ryan, stop.
Yeah, she shut it down. So, which was like even more embarrassing, to be honest.
What grade was this?
I mean, it was grade school, so probably 3rd or 4th grade.
Oh, Lord.
And then doing
singing Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll.
Some Soul Asylum. I don't know if you guys know Soul Asylum.
Interesting. Yeah.
Lip sync, or it sang to April Fools, their song on, I can't even remember which album that was, but that was one of my first.
So the Simpsons tape, was it like?
I want to pick
was
apart
Bart
this
Simpson singing on
it was not,
how
it
was
was
this?
the
chorus of people.
Bart Simpson does sing a song on that, like
This
all the
sounds really cool.
all of the characters. So you could go find it on YouTube for sure. Simpsons Sing the Blues. Like it's.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
This feels like some lore that
But
I'm
I
not...
think specifically that singer was the like old saxophone blues player character. So sort of a minor character, I guess. He wasn't in a lot of the songs.
Wow, they had like a spin-off
episodes,
actual cassette from a minor...
Oh, yeah.
Simpsons were so far ahead of their time.
But he was like the blues man around town, around Springfield, so...
Oh, was he the
sense.
dude that like Lisa jammed
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
what
yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was deep in The Simpsons for a little bit of my life.
Yeah, so that's where it started musically for me. But then,
So you were a rock and roll guy from the beginning.
yeah.
Blues, rock and rollish.
I've always liked rock, and my dad had an old classical acoustic guitar that I always played around on that he got from like Jenkins Music in Midwest City when he was a kid.
Nice.
And
So certifiably ancient.
ancient, yeah. And I actually still have it. So there was a point in time when I was
Looked like Trigger
it,
with the big hole in the body and everything.
yeah, well, it does now, but not that hardcore because I don't play with the pick. I think that's how. Is that whose guitar is that?
Oh, Willie
Yeah,
Nelson's.
Willie. No, that's what I thought. Okay, so I think he
Yeah,
plays
he's
with
like-
the pick. Yeah, he goes.
Who
after
knows
it.
how he did it, man? Just
No, actually, he doesn't play with the pig.
He doesn't.
No, that's
Oh,
all of his
okay.
fingers rubbing it.
Wow.
and
Wow.
stuff.
Okay.
he must have some gnarly fingers.
I think. I don't know. I mean, maybe one of our
Willie
6
Nelson
listeners
fingers.
Yeah,
will be
you
like,
can tell us.
"There's a
correct.
Willie Nelson
email
expert."
email us and
You're not.
let us know
You're
your
not
thoughts.
a real Willie fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to our subreddit page and post on there.
Yeah, but that guitar is amazing because I would in like my early 20s. I was living out in Choctaw by myself, and I got burglarized out there. And they ransacked the house, and I had like 6 guitars at the time, and a drum set, and some recording equipment. They took all that, but they left that one classical guitar, and I was just like, "Holy shit!"
That's bizarre. It's eerily
my
similar
gosh.
to my my grandpa. He had his house when he lived in the city back in like the early. I guess this would be like late 70s. Because my dad was real young, but same thing. He jammed with some dudes out in his like garage or something, and he had this. He's a like a plastic fabrication kind of guy. Anyway, so he had these handmade acrylic drums, like he formed them and made them himself, and he'll say like, well, they sounded okay. I mean, they weren't like awesome or anything, but it was cool because he made them.
He made it.
and
Yeah.
he had those. He had those, and then he had this is like a. Aaron, do you happen to remember if it was a Les Paul? Did he have another Les Paul that he had stolen? I don't know, but
Yeah, it was another gold top, I think.
was another gold top. Okay,
But the Les Paul he has now is way more, like twice as valuable.
it's extremely not. He's got a
So
what is it? A prototype version of the Les Paul
uh,
from like '69 or something.
It's a 69 because
It's like a gold top prototype version from '69. And
Gibson
it's
stopped,
validated.
yeah.
He sent it back to
Gibson stopped.
Gibson.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
stopped making
Oh,
Les
wow.
Pauls in the 60s and focused more on the SGs, and that was like their first go around with the Les Paul. And so they made a bunch of prototypes, and so if you look at the serial number, it actually comes back as like a E335
Yeah.
because they were just kind
It's-
of taking pieces
So it's
from the shop.
old.
Yeah,
And
so
it is
it's
cool.
Very interesting. It's like
Heavier
very
than old
unique.
dog shit, man. It's a heavy ass. It'd throw your neck out of whack. But no, and
So
anyways,
he came out on that one actually.
those
he
thieves,
recouped pretty
those
well.
thieves don't know what they got. But yeah, man, he jammed with some dudes, didn't know him very well, and then came back like 2 nights later and just took everything except an old like a 12 string that my grandma and his wife had just given him for like their 2nd anniversary or something like that. It was just sitting over there in the corner, and for whatever reason they didn't take that, and that thing lasted up until I think last year. Then he was just playing it, and the whole neck was like, boing.
No, I think he said he was
something like
playing
that?
it late at night, and the next morning he went up there. And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
just like,
It was already
Separated, yeah.
Well, even the Mona Lisa's falling apart.
Exactly. Well, his
Speaks
Mona
to our
Lisa
mortality.
fell- yeah. Something to be said about that. The mangled 12 string by the stairs.
That poor 12 string, yeah.
Eerily similar to the mangled ladder on the highway.
It was like
That's
an old
right, yeah.
Epiphone too. It was a cool little 12 string.
But yeah, all that to say, man, yeah, that's the eerily,
Yeah.
damn thieves.
Yeah, I was just happy that they. I mean, it really sucked, but I was
That they
happy
left
they left that
something,
one,
yeah.
and they left the most sentimental one at that. So it was like, all right, well,
It was
I didn't
destined.
completely lose here. So, yeah, humbling experience being burglarized.
Dude, I have no doubt. I'm sure it is. Like, besides it just absolutely sucking,
Yeah.
it must be like, damn.
I haven't got broken into, but my car did get broken into a couple weeks ago. But they didn't take anything.
Damn.
They
they
just rummaged through. I mean,
caused
I
you an
didn't-
inconvenience.
Yeah, I just so
Did
happened
they
to take
bust the
my
window
gear out.
or
No,
anything? That's
no. They finette like some. I don't know. I have a bad tendency of leaving my car unlocked.
Okay.
Growing up in the country, you kind of just don't lock your cars
You won
as
that
much
time.
as you should. Yeah, it was really weird. Interesting. Yeah,
Huh.
but it was a very you felt very
Like exposing.
Yeah.
violated.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you're like, motherfucker. They went through like my silverware I had in my glove box. You
Yeah.
know, like people weren't supposed to see how many salt packets I have in there. And
That's
my ketchup
private. That is
packets, those
private. That's like
motherfuckers.
incredibly personal.
And my like old ass gum stash in there that I forgot about because it's like underneath all a bunch of bills and shit.
That's incredibly personal.
What if they judged me? What if they're like,
Yeah,
this guy's a fucking slob? You know,
Hey,
Son
clean
of a bitch.
your act
Yeah.
up here.
Ryan, when'd you start playing?
Yeah.
Playing. Like you
Well,
were kind of picked up a guitar and were kind of like, meh, sure, I'll
Yeah.
strum Wonderwall.
yeah, totally. Oasis. Yeah, great. Never learned Wonderwall though. But I started. So I didn't. I of course like idolized the musicians I saw in media and stuff. So I didn't really have the concept of how difficult the guitar might be to play. So I picked it up, plucked around on it. Was like, this isn't for me. And then in 7th grade, I got into percussion. So I learned how to play the drums, and then in high school was in a garage band with some guys, and that was my first time playing live shows around Midwest City, Oklahoma, and the Green Door, which turned into the Conservatory, and then is now like the 89th Street Collective. So
It's definitely had a history.
yeah, definitely has better bathrooms now than it did back then. So that's cool. But yeah, we was playing drums. The bands we were called Santa Surplus. So that was there was
Santa Surplus?
Santa Surplus. It was a store at Crossroads Mall during the Christmas season, and we just thought the band name.
Let's take it.
Why not?
So that was
Nice.
pretty fun playing drums and stuff. But then
What kind of genre were you guys? What was Santa Surplus?
I would call it garage punk noise. I mean, it was just kind of all over the place.
Around what time period was this?
That would have been 2000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So right around that like garage punk kind of revival-esque
Sure.
era.
But it was pretty noisy, pretty whimsical. But it was a fun band to be in. And then when I graduated high school, I started doing more like open mics at, well, it's called Picasso's now, but it's called Galileo's back then.
They'll just cycle through the
They do,
Italian
yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so I would do open mics there. I don't even remember what nights those were, but I went to those pretty avidly, and just started playing songs that I wrote, and then eventually just started gigging around Norman and stuff like that whenever I got old enough to play in bars, and yeah, been just writing songs ever since.
Right on, man. What were some of your when you started playing? What were some of those bigger influences? What were some of those artists or bands that were kind of the bigger influences on you?
Yeah, I mean, the Alice in Chains Unplugged album
Incredible.
was like critical for
100
me.
out of 10.
Yeah, it was just that album really changed my perspective on music and what acoustic music could be.
I only listen to Nutshell when I'm really sad.
Yeah, so, just 12-year-old me. Was
Sometimes
like,
you rewind it, didn't hurt enough.
Yeah,
Staring
exactly.
out
Yeah.
staring out the window, and as your mom's driving you back from like practice or something.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't belong here. I belong in Seattle.
yeah.
Those
But-
guys understood me.
They're just totally great band. Really, like I said, one album that sticks out to me I really like Soundgarden too. Their Down on the Upside album was always my favorite. So they were pretty critical. And then, I mean, I grew, I always liked Tool, so Maynard was always a big influence of mine vocally, and I loved Danny Carey. It's like my favorite drummer.
Dude, they were such a, they were a cool concert. I mean, and I don't do any psychedelics or anything, so I was, pretty stone cold sober, and it was still like a crazy.
This last time that they came,
I
through,
saw him. I didn't see him in OKC. I saw him out in Tennessee at Bonnaroo at the music festival out there, and it was and it was super. It was dope, man. And they're crazy ass visuals, and it's everything's just insane. But no, that Danny Carey,
he's amazing.
That what's that video of him playing Numa? It's like sponsored by his stick, the stick company, his drumstick company. It's like.
Does he have his own personal?
No. Whatever company it is. I just can't remember. I just can't remember what
Pro
stick
Mark?
company it is. I don't know if it's. Well,
Vader?
is there one that starts with an R?
I can only think of the drum head.
It's not Roland, right?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, Vic Firth.
Maybe it was Vic Firth. Anyways, it was like Vic Firth, presents Danny Carey, and it was like 8 camera angle. I'm probably exaggerating. It's probably like 3, but it was him playing Numa, and I was
sure I've
like,
seen
oh
that,
my
yeah.
god, this is insane.
Oh, is it it is Vic Firth, because they did like the live settings where like you couldn't hear the rest of the mix of the song. It was just them on
it's
drums.
mainly, it's mainly the drums.
But that's what I want to hear. I mean,
it's
dude,
incredible.
It's
Yeah.
killer.
Same with Carter Beauford on at
Oh god, I loved Carter.
for Dave Matthews Band, dude.
That
Carter
video
Beauford's
of number
insane.
41.
He's got a huge set,
God,
too.
Dude, he's the only guy I've ever seen absolutely kill it in like a. What's he wearing in that
Under
educational
Armour
video?
gloves, dude. Under Armour gloves.
He's wearing
Imagine
like a.
being a dude wearing those.
No, dude, he's wearing like a. He's wearing like
a.
a skin tight like swimsuit, or a
Oh,
diving
yeah, no,
suit in
yeah.
that one educational video from like 1997 or whatever. Like
God, I
it
love that.
comes on
video so
VHS
much.
tape and everything, and it's just like.
It's so good.
Here I
though.
am playing, Tripping Billies, and then it's just him playing Tripping Billies, but he's in like a skin tight like diving suit. Anyways, only guy I've ever seen kill it in a diving suit.
Yeah.
And he's awesome, dude. Those two drummers are both like just what you can do, totally killer, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever learn how to play No Excuses?
No. No, I didn't.
That's kind of like the weird standard of like people who don't really play drums, but like they can get up there and kind of do that.
Well, it's
Yeah.
hard. You need like 2 splashes and some congos, so it's very.
It's great. man.
Yeah, but I don't like influences for me just really go everywhere.
What are some of the crazier ones? Just satisfy my curiosity.
Well, I mean, you asked me for like a crazy one, but I can't think of necessarily a crazy
well,
one.
guilty
crazy is pretty
pleasure
hard.
I
listening.
mean, if you're talking about some really badass drumming, that's a crazy band. There's a band called Lightning Bolt that just some real like I don't even know how that guy drums that fast, but used to be in to that band, but I don't know. I guess I say it's just maybe not crazy, but just a lot of variety.
Sorry, that kind of put a weird like adjective on everything, but yeah, I don't know what's
my music taste is crazy.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't mean to
I think I said it,
qualitative
so
in that
it's
way.
my-
That's
it's my
fine. I
fault.
put you in the spot. The well, what are some of the ones on the opposite ends of like the vibe spectrum? Maybe that's a better way. Of
Yeah,
putting it.
I mean, definitely love Tupac.
Hell
He's one of my big influences, just more like just confidence-wise overall, but he was a great lyricist. And Kendrick Lamar is another rap artist that I value. Another great lyricist that, I don't know, there's just something about the way that he presents it that resonates with
His
me.
production's sweet.
Yeah.
And
I was-
really cool.
I'm just so like when I just tend to listen to the same stuff over and over and over again rather than like branch out anymore. And so I didn't get into Kendrick Lamar until like one day way after the fact when GTA was not as popular of a game, but like I had just inherited like an old PlayStation 3 and it had
Nice.
GTA 5.
Yeah.
And so that's a great soundtrack because
Oh,
there's so
yeah.
much great music on that.
Yeah.
And I heard Kendrick Lamar for the first time. I was like, holy crap.
That's where I heard Baker Street by Jerry Rafiti for the first time. That shit changed my life.
It is,
It
man.
changed my Monday mornings at high school. I was like listening to that shit. I was like,
That's awesome,
So-
man. GTA 5 introducing all the people. to
Yeah,
good
no,
stuff.
I mean,
They did have a great soundtrack.
Yeah, it
it's
did.
yeah, tremendous soundtrack, but yeah, you know, and then I like all the old country, Waylon Jennings and Willie
they're cool.
Nelson, Johnny Cash.
Do you like some of the dudes from like Turnpike Troubadours?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any of them, but
I was just
gotta be
gonna
honest, I
ask.
haven't actually listened to much Turnpike Troubadours. That's like my downfall, but it's something that I always think about is like all the music I haven't really paid attention to.
I didn't either till
because
like,
I've been listening to Nutshell
yeah.
too much.
like a year and a half ago.
That is not.
Yeah.
You should not be ashamed of that, and you're not. But you should never be ashamed of that. Nutshell can easily win in that battle 10 times out of 10. But
That's like the most universally loved song on Reddit. Grunge.
But-
Like everybody's like Nutshell.
But you had
Nutshell.
said Waylon Jennings, and that made me think of Shooter Jennings. And then I
Okay.
thought, oh, well,
Yeah.
I wonder what he thinks of the production, because a lot of people didn't like the production. Well, I say a lot of people. I just
On the
read
first
comments
Turnpike
and stuff.
Troubadour
no,
shit? I was saying, I was like,
on the
they're-
newest one,
that Diamonds and Gasoline album sounds so clean.
on the
dude.
Cat in the Rain album.
God.
After listening back to it, I kind of agree with him. I kind of think it did get a little. It got really Nashville-y,
Yeah,
polished, like
it's never too late to get
really
to Turnpike though.
hardcore.
Like I didn't
No,
listen to
well,
him like a
that's-
year and a half ago.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what I mean is like anytime I find a new band, I'm just kind of like, oh my god, like I sit there and like just think like we could never listen to all of the music. I mean,
Mm-mm.
because we're just talking about
Just when you
Western
think, yeah.
music, really. I mean, there's a
Just when
whole
you
world.
think you've heard
of
it all,
music.
you're like, I haven't heard anybody new I like. Then a new band will kind of creep
Yeah.
in. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
this
or
guy's
an
kinda
old
cool.
band that you never
Yeah.
heard before.
yeah. Or you'd heard one hit or something, and you wrote them off, and then
Yeah.
it's like, no,
Yeah.
man, you
Yeah,
know.
let me revisit that.
Winger's got an incredible back catalog, you know, or some shit
There's
like
a
that.
couple of them, man. There's a
That's
couple of
what
those
that's what I'm
fucking
saying.
bands, dude. Like Tears for Fears. I never realized how great of a band they are. They've easily like became one of my favorite bands to listen to this last like
Yeah.
year or so. Getting on their like deep.
Or some
back
have a
tracks.
really like different palette. You know, I'll say like a band like Steely Dan. You
Oh,
you,
God
you
damn,
have
I
to.
dug in them too this year.
Some people-
Me too.
Jesus
Yeah.
Some
Christ,
people,
dude,
man.
Hey,
so
I
good.
think. Well, I don't know if they're on GTA 5, but I kind of feel there's a lot of classic rock on GTA
Dude,
5. I may have picked up on them.
Yeah.
From,
Hey 19 and Babylon Sisters was like on my playlist this last summer, like on repeat.
yeah.
They man and you know, I don't think
Bad
you could,
stinkers.
you show that to me a younger version of Dylan, and I don't know. I
I think we're just more
be pretty
judgmental when
dismissive
we're
of it.
younger.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that was my problem, especially at a young age, just really judgy about a lot of music that I just didn't want to listen. Like, my dad loves the Beatles. I kind of snubbed them the entire time, and then I think, like, only, like, 2 years ago, I watched the Get Back documentary, and, like, I binged it, and it really inspired me. It blew me away, because I was like, oh, man, like, they write songs the way that I write songs. Like
Right.
the way I don't know if either of you have watched that documentary,
Mhm.
but I just binged it. And other people I try to get to binge it, they're like, this is boring.
Yeah.
But for
Right.
me, I'm
Well,
like
I
on the
think if you've
production
been in-
side.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
If
like,
you've
this
kind of
is
been
what
in that
being in the
place-
studio is like.
Yeah.
it was
There's
it was awesome to watch it, like
Yeah.
just to see how they did shit back then.
there's a ton of
Yeah.
downtime.
yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
waiting for people to show
Well, that's how
up.
they wrote Get Back.
Right?
It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, Paul McCartney was just like on the bass or something.
Yeah,
It
he's
was
just
middle
like
of the break or
messing
something.
around. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they were,
And George
"No,
Harrison was
no,
like,
no, no."
I think I'm going to leave. And he left. And they were like, George Harrison left the Beatles 19. And he was like, Jesus Christ, that's how he left? It was like
I
so
remember
like
that.
it was so gentle.
It's just like the Metallica documentary. Have you seen that one? Where
Oh,
they do
gosh,
like the group
damn.
therapy and
that
shit.
was funny as
And then-
fuck. DJ
and then it's like
slams the
yeah,
door and
James
it fades
Hetfield
to
is like,
black.
fuck this, and he just closes the door, and then it's like James Hetfield went to 6 months of rehab. It's just like a slow.
Jesus.
And then
Like, what the
he comes
fuck?
back. It's just like re-enters 6 months later. It's they're in the exact same position and shit, like on the
They're
couch
so
and everything. They're like,
fucking-
"Hey James, you know," he's like, "I'm back." You know,
It was
it's
so
fucking
fucking-
bad, but also awesome.
Yeah.
Watching him and Lars dude get into it is the funniest shit.
It's just kind
dude.
of stock.
It's like
It's just
stock
stock.
sounding.
It's just stock sounding.
I'm gonna have to go and rewatch that now.
Oh, dude,
It's so funny. It's hilarious. The fact that they let that get out for the public to see is beyond me.
Yeah.
Like that,
Well,
it does not paint them in a good
Well,
light.
and it just to follow that up with Saint Anger is like, it's a punk move for sure.
Jesus. Yeah.
I mean, it is a move. It is a business decision.
Kirk Hammett, they just had this one weird like segue of Kirk Hammett riding a horse on his ranch. Do you remember that?
Yes.
He was just like, I mean, they're like, how do you feel, Kirk? He was like, I mean, there's just a lot of tension in the band, and I wish there wasn't so much tension.
And then he's just like galloping on his
or
horse.
some shit. And you're just like, geez.
It's fantastic.
Dude's like a wet sock.
well,
Gross.
yeah,
Dude.
you get to see the human side. I
Wall
guess.
Hammett, dude.
And I had to do like a deep, like introspective dive for one of my college classes about that documentary. So I watched it like 3 times within the span of like 2 weeks because I had to write this like 5-page paper on it about should they have released it, should they not have released it, you know, how did it impact their social standing in the realm of like metal bands and stuff. And it's pretty interesting to like go back to
And they had the Napster thing into it.
right and to
Dude.
go back to
Yeah.
like 2001 and like kind of look at like message boards like old,
Short hair Metallica.
and
were
just see
devil,
like
too.
how many people were like just absolutely
Arguably
trashing
the
them.
worst version of Metallica. Short hair Metallica.
I don't think it's
sucks.
arguably. I think they are like
True.
It's,
They just lost their
Well,
power. They
it was
cut
like
their
it's funny.
hair.
Alice in
Yeah.
Chains on that Unplugged. They had the bassist. Was Mike Starr still alive during that? But he on the bassist he said like friends don't let friends cut their hair or something because Metallica was like front row.
I don't remember that.
Ah,
but-
man,
yeah,
I
that
can't-
was
I can't
that was part
remember.
of their.
I do remember
was
what
it?
you're.
Yeah, it was Alice in Chains. Yeah, but that was
But-
that's when short hair Metallica came in and yeah.
Well, you know, I think their fan base is probably still pretty humongous these days.
Oh, dude,
They're
but
massive.
But
gigantic.
you mentioned the Napster thing. That
They're
was-
the biggest rock. They're still one of the biggest rock bands like alive.
yeah, like so. I don't know.
They will always have a soft spot for me.
You're around long enough, I guess. You just make a couple of bad productions every now and then.
And through all of it, I can listen to Metallica and appreciate a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
you know, you gotta imagine they were just like trying to experiment, just trying to push the boundaries of
Like people
their
shit on
sound
Load, but
and
like
stuff. But
Fuel was an awesome song, dude.
I liked Fuel.
Fuel was
yeah.
badass, and Lars is actually pretty good on that.
And Lars was always. I mean, I always thought he was one of the great drummers. You know.
In the '80s, he was really good. He was fucking like
yeah.
I mean, I think he definitely like helped pioneer that speed metal, that thrash metal sound.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's that video of him running around the arena and shit in the '80s and stuff. They're like doing this big intro, and like he comes to his drum set like right on time and shit, and he like kicks
Yeah.
it off.
He, like,
He's in
jumps
time and
like,
stuff.
lands in
Yeah, and
the-
people
Yeah.
were like, "Damn, dude, where the fuck is this Lars?" Like this
Yeah.
guy was actually. I think he hit like a plateau and then.
No, I'm saying,
Stop
man, that
giving a shit, I
documentary,
guess.
it sheds a lot of light on how burned out they were at
Yeah.
that point. That, you know, following up the Black Album and then doing the Load and Reload and the what is it that covers Garage Inc.
Inc.
Doing that, and then they
That one
were
wasn't
like,
as bad. That one was pretty decent.
I like Garage Inc. I
And
mean,
then they had the Lou Reed album.
Yeah.
I am the chair. That was definitely a questionable business decision.
Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it's very bold.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how we got to Metallica, but yeah, the Get Back.
Oh yeah,
Natural progression.
The good documentary was.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, burn, Lars.
No, but that I don't know that really floored me, and just thinking about how it gives us that perspective of what it's like to be in a studio. Not like I know what it's like to be in a studio, but you know, me and my friends growing up, it sounded kind of similar to what you guys did. I mean, we weren't around musicians in the family, but that were gigging. But we had our own studio, and we were getting into recording ourselves and using a 4-track, and then our first digital, which I don't even remember what it was, the mixer. But, you know, 15, 16 years old, recording music, I mean, and teaching ourselves how to use it. There's just so much downtime, and I think that's what I got out of that documentary the most. Like
it's
not all
normal.
glamour, and it's just
Yeah.
totally normal to like work. You know, I will play, if I write a song, I'll play it 100, 200 times in a week just to like play it all the different ways that I can and explore it from every different angle. And I kind of thought, like, do I have a problem? Because
no,
like I'll
no,
sing
no.
until I can't talk anymore, or get blisters on my fingers.
I think that's just. I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
your song. Well, can you kind of lay out your step by step, if you have a basic one, of like what goes into writing a song, how you begin writing a song, to kind of where it gets into its, I guess, adult stage. I don't want to say finished, because does it ever really get finished? I don't know.
No,
but
yeah, you're right. I don't know if it ever gets finished, because there's sometimes I'm practicing and I play it away and I'm like, holy
if
crap.
5 years down the
yeah.
road from recording it, you're like, I should have done this.
Well, and
this is
that's-
how it should have been.
That really sheds light also just on why, like, it's so cool to get a live album from a band, because it can sound different. It can be
Right.
a different version than the studio version. So, yeah, the process for me is just, it usually starts with a lyric, just that random. I don't know where it comes from. I mean, it's like the muse. It's just like, I have no,
Yeah,
it's
it
just
is.
like,
No,
boom.
I've experienced that, where it is like you just hear a word or a phrase or something, and
Right.
like for whatever reason, there's a little mental tendril that's just like,
Yeah.
that's mine now.
Mhm.
And you're going to think about it for like 4 days, and you're going to figure out 18 different phrases that rhymes with it or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So it'll start with the lyric and then just build some music around it. Usually I'm always trying to expand my horizons on the guitar. And like I said, the rest of the process is just playing it just over and over and over again, until I feel like it's the song. And sometimes that process will take a day if I'm really excited about the song. Sometimes it'll take a week, and I could also be really excited about the song and I'm playing it every day. So I don't know. It's like any art really is very strange.
Yeah. Well, it's so
For that reason.
subjective, that it just, I don't know. Sometimes and it's especially studio relevant. Sometimes you listen to the same thing and you play it for X amount of times and you get to the point where it's just like, is this song even good?
Yeah.
Is what I'm playing even making sense?
Yeah.
Because it's almost lost all its meaning and sense to me.
Mhm.
And it's like I don't know. Then you got to go deep diving and kind of connect with it again.
It's almost like when you like say a word a few times and then you're just like, is that even a word?
Is that a word? That doesn't
Am
even
I saying
sound
that
like
right?
English.
Like
yeah.
peculiar? Peculiar. Like just like what?
It's like your brain starts like.
That's one that
tripping
trips
up
my
itself.
brain for sure, that word. But no, it is like that. And like hearing it over and over again, it's just a lot of different permutations of one thing that will eventually become a song. But sometimes, like, I tend towards like philosophy in my songs a lot. So if I'm reading something, that resonates with me, I'm apt to try and like put it into
Interject
a song
a little bit
or
of
a
it,
lyric.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Or not even like philosophy. I mean, anything, it could be aliens.
Yeah,
or
just inspiration.
campfires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Whatever's inspirational.
Right on, man. Yeah, I'm just curious. I like to kind of pick everybody's brain. Like it's cool to see the different processes at work. I don't think anybody ever has a set one, or maybe one that they always.
I wish I did. I
Kinda
wish
go
I had
to?
something like, because great writers, they talk about, well, first of all, you have to read to be a great writer, but, also you need to like actually do it. So
Yeah.
it's like sitting down and doing like,
Well, was it Eli from Helen Kelter Skelter that said he writes a song like every day? And
Really?
then,
Yeah, something.
Yeah, he said, well, I write one every day, but that doesn't mean any of them, that doesn't mean they're good, but
Yeah.
they just write something, try and write something every single day.
yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of where you got to get almost to where you can, who knows? I don't know if anybody considers himself a great writer, who is a great writer in the eyes of other
Yeah.
people, but
yeah,
be
Brad,
interesting.
like, so Brad Fielder and he might still do it. I used to do this thing called the 52-week song club. And so it was like every week it was a song through email. It was just a songwriters group and they'd email a prompt, just like a line or two,
Oh,
or
dope.
maybe even a word. And then everybody, write their song and share it on Facebook or whatever. my attention span wanes. So I think I mean I got maybe 15 or 16 songs into it before like I was like on to the next thing, you know. But gosh, I mean, you could do that for real. It sounds like
I bet it was a really cool. Like after about halfway in, 8 weeks in, you were kind of like, this is dope. Like kind of exploring.
Well, and you realize you're like, oh, I'm producing music all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You know, there doesn't have to be writer's block. There's inspiration around everything we do, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. And I mean that's a great. And you see kind of prompts like that to help kind of kickstart people. You know, maybe when they are feeling like writer's block, something like that. And they tend to, they always seem to kind of, you know, if you stick with it for a period of time, seems like they work.
Yeah. Sometimes so there's like this ancient Chinese, they call it an oracle. It's called the 𝙎𝙤𝙖𝙨. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the 𝙎𝙤𝙖 or not, but it's just like an Eastern philosophical thing. So you can like, so if I'm feeling a lack of inspiration or like needing guidance in some way, you know, I can consult the 𝙎𝙤𝙖 and it will like, you know, it produces, you know, it depends on how many, I just kind of use it as a mental motivator. But I find myself putting it into a lot of my songs, like a lot of the messages of needing to be graceful and how we act and in our lives and be generous in our lives and stuff like that. And so, I mean, even Constancy, the song that one of the songs that we recorded tonight is just about that, like being gentle in your approach to things and having constant effort in your life.
Yeah,
using it to guide you. So, yeah, I'm up for anything to try and explore the songwriting process. So, yeah, the 𝙎𝙤𝙖. Shout out to the 𝙎𝙤𝙖.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks, China.
Yeah, right.
The Ryan, what so you still going out
Sponsorship from China.
Yeah. Thanks, Mao. And what
would that be a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know.
No, dude.
Were you breaking it down like foreign policy?
What if they were just like they were just like, here's a small check for like 3.5 million or something. You know, they're just like mention our name every now and then. We're like,
but everything's replaced with the Chinese flag in here.
Just pictures of him. Yeah. It's just pictures of Mao like all along the back wall.
He's just like always bugging
That'd
me.
be
Like,
a vibe.
when are you gonna?
That'd be a vibe, yeah.
When are you gonna write my song?
Yeah. He's like, record me. Record me.
We're working on it,
The
Matt.
song is about me, right?
Oh my God, dude, Aaron, Mao is being so fucking annoying right
Dude, he
now.
sent
Dude.
back like his 36th mix revision. Like, oh my God.
I'm not recording your mixtape, Mao. Fuck. The guy can dream, right?
Yeah, now that we talked this one out, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know if that's
We'll go back on it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
All right. Fuck off, China. Okay, we'll end it right there. Our brief sponsorship from China was only like 15 seconds, but it wasn't fun.
The drone package with the welcome package from China just flew off. Yeah, like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. Just blaring the People's Republic of China. Away.
This is very like South Parky Team America.
Ryan, what kind of you still playing around, man? You still go to open mics, anything like that?
No, I mean, I did a lot of playing in my mid and late 20s, especially around Norman. Would say at that time.
Yeah, right on. Now you focus more on maybe recording, doing that kind of.
Yeah,
avenue?
I do a lot of recording at home. I do some gigs. I have a gig on May 3rd at the Patriarch in Edmond.
Nice.
So I get to go out there and play 3 hours just outside.
Ooh,
and
the 3-hour gig.
Be the patio music. And
hopefully they're cool and they let you take a few breaks and feed
oh
you
yeah,
and all that
yeah,
stuff.
no, they absolutely do. It's a good atmosphere too. It's free to enter, so and it's like a beer garden set up outside. So
nice.
I'm definitely the background music for people's good time there, but
It's still dope. Still fun to
still
get out
dope.
and play.
Yeah, I mean, I've played there a couple of times and well received and had a great time doing it. So yeah, May 3rd.
May 3rd. Okay. Mark it on the calendars, folks. Do you have any amazing covers you bust out? Hey y'all.
I do several covers, although I'm like, they're all on my Instagram. This is my problem. I forget almost every cover that I learned. So,
Nutshell. Definitely gonna be in there.
Yeah, I do cover. What I try to do with covers is focus on this. I call like finding like the karaoke songs. So songs that people might pick or remember at like a karaoke bar, because that's the stuff that people want to hear.
It's that really small overlapping on the Venn diagram of like songs people want to hear, songs I want to play, and songs appropriate for the place I'm at or whatever.
Fuck,
and it's like,
man, that is
small.
Hootie and the Blowfish right there. That is
You just
fucking
named him
Hootie.
to a T,
Do you know any
baby.
Hootie?
No.
Hootie's
Damn,
entire
that was the
entire
whole
back
Hootie the
catalog
Blowfish.
in nutshell.
Time. That's a great one, dude.
I remember my mom had their first album.
I Go Blind. That's a good one.
Fantastic.
Okay, well, I'm going to learn some of those.
Yeah.
Aaron will be there. He'll be front row, baby.
I'll sing along with you.
Ryan. But you've got an album coming up, right?
Yeah, so I'm working on an album. I don't have a name for it, but I have all the songs written, and I've been a guy named Brandon Isaac has been recording me. So he has this nice studio over at his house in Edmond, and so he kind of, we knew each other from when I was gigging live more back in the day,
Right on.
and he had always wanted to record me, and so he offered to help me out, and
Nice.
we've been putting it together, and still being like just really inspired by Get Back. You know, I came to him. I think he was probably thinking like, yeah, we'll just record Ryan acoustic and that'll be that. But I'm like, no, I want to like,
I
I want to
kick
do
it up a
something
notch,
big.
baby. Yeah.
So we've been like writing all the parts, and he's been writing a big part of them too. So
Nice.
helping me with the bass and some electric guitar, and yeah, we'll have some percussion in there.
Sick, man. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
What you played today was awesome. And
Oh, appreciate that.
yeah, of course. And I hope you have a good turnout for the May 3rd show.
May 3rd,
And,
7 to 10,
7 to 10,
Edmond,
baby.
Oklahoma, at
Hell
the
yeah.
Patriarch.
3-hour gigs.
Yeah, that's
Fun
what I'm
times.
saying. Yeah, he gets the break and he gets food, so it's not the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And he
Could
gets to
be
cover
worse.
Hootie in nutshell.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Hey, you heard it here first, folks.
Covering Nutshell
Yeah.
as Hootie, as Darius
wow, what a combo!
What a
That would be pretty
what a
good.
mountain to
We
climb
oughta-
you got, Ryan.
I'm going to try and get a hold of Darius. Ask him to cover
Business
it.
pretty live.
That'd be pretty
A little
sick.
harmonica
Yeah.
action. It'd be amazing. Well, awesome. I hope, like I said, I hope you have a good turnout. And thank you once again for coming out, playing 3 songs. And where can people find you on social media, all that good stuff?
Primarily just on Instagram. So Ryan Lawson.
Okay.
That's all it is. on
RYAN,
Instagram.
baby.
Yeah.
Lawson.
Lawson.
Right on, man. All right. Well, this has been Ryan Lawson's episode. Once again, appreciate him
Thanks,
coming on
guys.
out. And, go check out all our other random shit we got coming up. Midsummer Mosh on 420. Yeah, definitely need to be there for that. Animal Mother's got shows coming up in all of April. We're going to be busy motherfuckers, man. And
There's no reason to book the show on 420. Definitely not. It's just a random date. There's no.
it has nothing to do with anything.
Pretty good date, though.
Not
for-
bad.
Pretty
Yeah.
good date for a concert.
For a bunch of very specific businesses, it's a really good day. They do well. But anyways, appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah,
Peace.
Thanks.